Hi, it's Lachlan, and it is day 36 of my 90-day YouTube video challenge. And a few days ago, a couple of friends of mine, Azusa Novak and Jill Wiedek, left a message in a community that I'm in and said, look, you've got to watch the speech that Michelle Obama gave at the Democratic National Convention. It's just awesome. So I thought, well, I've got to check that out. And I jumped on and I watched a few minutes of it on YouTube, and I went off and clicked away to some other things. But it had such a high recommendation from my friends that I thought, well, look, I've got to come back and try that again and put some effort. So I invested some effort in watching it, and I saw exactly what they meant. It was an incredibly well-structured speech, which connected emotionally on a number of different levels in a number of subtle ways. And the script writing, the speech writing was amazing because there's an incredible structure behind that speech. And that's what I want to get into today. So Michelle Obama used a classic speech structure. She got people onto the bus, and then she took the bus to a destination. So getting people onto the bus was that process of connecting with people where they are, of getting them on board with the speech, and then she could take them somewhere. And the process of getting people on board was connecting with where they were in that room at the time. So the previous speaker had just been talking about veterans' families. So she connected with that. And she also acknowledged the truth of who she was as the First Lady. So she said, look, I'm honoured to be First Lady. And then she turned that around to make it about the audience as well. So she went around the country speaking to people just like you and having the amazing experiences of contacting everyday Americans with these range of concerns. So she'd now connected with people and she'd got them on board the bus. So she was ready to take them on a journey. And take them on a journey she did. So the journey was a values journey because this is a values speech. This was connecting with her values, Barack Obama's values, America's values, to position Barack Obama as connecting to the values of the American people. And the way that she did that was that she unfolded the values through a series of sharing different values. So she started with her family experiences, the experiences of her family becoming the first family and moving to the White House and what that meant for her children. And then she went back to her earlier experiences with Barack Obama and the early stages of their relationship, and she shared how they connected and some of the things that were significant about that relationship and why she loved Barack Obama. So that intimate sharing connected us even more with her, and it got us on the bus to an even greater extent. Then she started taking us even more strongly on the journey, because she said, look, what Barack and I did was that we received values from our parents, and our parents transmitted values to us, and these values are the values that we want to transmit to our children as well. So she started sharing the values that they'd learned from their parents. And then she was able to go more deeply into that and start talking about core values for America and core values for humanity. So these were things like gratitude and humility and truth and a work ethic. And she started sharing those values. And as she shared those values and connected that with everyday Americans, she was able to take the bus to the next level. And the next level was saying, well, because Barack Obama endorses these values informed his policy positions. And that's why he took this decision. That's why he took that decision. That's why he introduced this legislation. And that's all a reflection of those values. And then she took the bus to its next destination. And the next thing was... What was the next thing? I've lost the track for a moment there. So the next thing was connecting with the American dream. So she started connecting the values that she'd been developing with the American dream, and then ultimately to American history, how people had overcome obstacles in pursuit of establishing those values, how at different points of American history the whole story of America was the story of people essentially articulating and developing those same values that expressed the American dream. So she was able to relate the values that she'd been developing to the American dream and then to American history. And then ultimately culminated the speech in saying, well, if you believe in these values, if you connect with these values, then you need to support the man who embodies them, Barack Obama. So it was a very, very powerful speech. It followed a simple structure, get people on board, and then take them on a journey. But the way that she unpacked those values over the course of the speech, through her personal experience, to what she and Barack had learnt from their families, to the core values for American people, to relating it to the American dream, and then relating it to the American story and American history, and then ultimately, and also to Barack Obama's policy. And then ultimately, of course, relating it to, well, if you believe in those values, if you relate to those values, then you need to endorse Barack Obama as president for the next 4 years. So I think it was a very, very powerful, incredibly well-structured and crafted speech. And I learned a lot from watching it and thinking about how it was structured. And I hope this sharing has been useful for you today, and talk to you in the next video. Okay, take care. Bye.